economy, the cost of living crisis, the inflation, that was the major issue in the run-up to this vote. It seems that maybe culture wars or identity politics trumped it. Is that your read of it?
Well, this is obviously the deciding element. There are lots of pieces in the picture. Social issues, immigration, security, international relations, economy. But, well, you know, when there is a result, there are several people voting for a candidate for different reasons. At the end of the day, yes, there are lots of votes who wanted to favor the candidate of the opposition because of the economic problems, and there are some votes who didn't care about them, and they just thought that there are more priority issues.
Yeah, since 2018, Turkey's limped from one currency crisis to another. The lira has lost 77% of its value against the dollar over the past 5 years. Either the interest rate has to give, or the exchange rate. I mean, that's what international economists would agree, right?
Absolutely. This is the rational way of thinking about the economy, and Turkey will need to adopt a very formal, very rational, very credible interest rate policy in the weeks ahead. So it is unavoidable. But this is not all, of course. So we are now a little bit beyond that first moments of tactical maneuvers with the economic policy tools. There are more fundamental problems which have to be dealt simultaneously. There should be, first of all, credible people on the commands of the economy. We will need
credible people. There's talks that maybe Mehmet Şimşek would return, the former deputy prime minister, but he doesn't want to come back into politics.
Well, I don't know behind the scenes, but he is definitely a credible person. And then there will be lots of other issues linked with launching structural reforms, for instance, because the last years in the Turkish economy are also a demonstration of the correlation between the rule of law issues on the one hand and the economic performance on the other hand.
Can you explain that link?
Well, the market's perception for the foreseeability of the Turkish market, for the predictability of the Turkish rule of law issues, regulations in relation with both the economy but also with the justice's independence and impartiality, with democratic issues, they are all now together in the way a country figures in the international global atlas of power.
And bringing in foreign investment, which is a major part of the Turkish economy.
Yes, because Turkey's current account deficit points out to the importance of the foreign direct investment in Turkey. I'm not talking about hot money, but just the real greenfield investments or good mergers and acquisitions, investing in technology, in jobs, which are very important. So Turkey will need to go back to the track of good economic performance. Let's not forget that Turkey, until very recently, was a country in compliant with the Maastricht criteria. Budget deficit, public debt, they were all among the better facts in all Europe. So so Turkey can do it.
Well, let's remind our viewers who might not be familiar. Erdogan, back early on in his rule, he was respected internationally as a reformer. Turkey had great economic growth under him. Now, the thing that makes the headlines are criticisms of his policies. Why did he make this transition?
Well, it's early because we have to take a distance with the history. But he will be in his last term now, officially. So it's time for him to think about his legacy. And as you said, to regenerate his early years economic credibility, economic performance, economic success. Is possible? There are ways to do it. There is room for innovation as well, not only our orthodox economic policies, but Turkey can invest more, let's say, in artificial intelligence. Turkey can invest more in space technologies. Turkey can invest more in agriculture, in education. These are all structural reforms that Turkey needs. And they are not necessarily, of course, producing positive effects immediately, but by way of launching the process and trying to embrace the society, trying to look for majorities or support beyond the 50% is very important, because the other 50% which did not vote for the actual government is also in qualitative terms very important for Turkey's success in terms of their contribution to economy, to growth, to education. They are younger, so they are important as well.
Speaking about growth and these orthodox policies, if Erdogan does return to them and he raises interest rates, does that risk an economic recession?
Well, this is why it is not alone an important instrument. interest rates can be higher, but the trust, the confidence should be injected to the markets that once they are higher, they will be gradually reduced, so that it's about expectations. It's about managing the expectations and certainty to the detriment of uncertainty. So it requires skills.
Another question. The government estimated that the rebuilding costs after the earthquake disasters were $103 billion. Much of that money will come from abroad, but some of it will have to be financed by Turkey. Where will it come up with those funds?
Well, that will be for a while also a reason for the ongoing inflation. So we cannot expect the inflation to go down immediately for several reasons, and this is one of them. But another important factor will be Turkey's relation with the European Union, its most important economic partner in terms of trade, investments, tourism, technological partnerships. So if Turkey is able, meanwhile, to recover its relations with the European Union, and President Macron's European Political Community meeting, which will take place in a few days in Moldova, is a good example of an anchor for Turkey as the European Union integration process. And then the customs union, for instance, that Turkey has with the European Union has become an anachronism. It was concluded in the 90s. So Turkey and European Union has common interest in re-energizing as well modernizing this customs union with digital dimension, with green transition policies. So it is both in the interest of the European Union and Turkey to work together in these years ahead. This is also what, for example, European business community says. The Confederation of European Business, where TÜSİAD and TİSK from Turkey are members, and MEDEF from France, MEDEF from Germany. So all the voice of the European business in its last report on Europe's geostrategic autonomy policies for economic competitiveness at the global level indicated this customs union's modernization as one of the important instruments for the sake of Europe's future. So there are some ways to go to a positive future.
Yes, in some ways. Bahadir, we have to leave it there. Thank you very much. Bahadir Kaleağası, president of the Franco-Turkish think tank, the Bosphorus Institute. And speaking about relations with Turkey, a number of world leaders were quick to congratulate Erdogan on his